I finished college in Manila, and then in '87 I came to New Zealand, and I did further study because at the time the only way you can get a good job, you can participate in uh, job market in New Zealand is if you have a good qualification. And at the time, yung Philippine qualification is not recognized in New Zealand, and so it was very difficult. Even though you finish, college in the Philippines, but when you get here to New Zealand, most of the degrees are actually not recognized. So you either have to resit maybe a refresher course, could be anywhere from 6 months to 1 year, and then they will review your qualification. So, yeah, more or less I was in the same boat back then. So the only difference is back then it was easier because there wasn't too many immigrants in New Zealand. So I managed to get a degree and then a permanent residence immediately. In 1989, I got my residency. When I first arrived, I had two jobs to survive. Just like most Filipinos, you're willing to do anything so you can stay and you can support yourself. So I work in a cafeteria in the morning, and then in the evening, I had a part-time job helping a friend to clean offices and all that, just to survive the first year. After a year and a half, I managed to finish my business degree, and I landed a job at the airport, working at the airport. And at the airport, I did parang a catering type of work. So I was working at the department doon that prepares the food for the airlines. And that's really where I started learning about food. And eventually, I managed to uh, uh, get a business on the side while I was working at the airport. And then eventually, in 1991, I started my own business, which is in the food industry. So then we opened our first restaurant in the early 90s, and that was actually a Thai restaurant. Kasi my wife, which I met, in the early 90s, uh, and she started a Thai restaurant, and I joined her eventually, and then we opened one restaurant, and it was very successful, and then we opened another one. So at one stage we opened 8 restaurants actually in New Zealand. It's mostly Thai restaurant, and over the years we become very good at running restaurants, and so we've always set the bar for the restaurant scene in Auckland. So like this restaurant here, this is a 600 square meter restaurant. It seats about 250 people. And so right now we have 6 restaurants in Auckland. Yes. Um, I find that the real key talaga for Filipinos, when you first arrive in the country, is you have to be willing to do what you can. You just grab every opportunities, and it's a combination of planning and knowing what you really want, and then willing to work hard towards achieving it. Me personally, I wish na the Philippines actually uh, will be more open to competition, where people like me can come into the country and participate in the economy. So I think yung mga kababayan natin who are here in New Zealand, who wants to go back and establish business doon. Right now, it's a little bit more difficult because of the bureaucracy and because of the, I suppose, uh, there are still corruptions in some areas. And so I think uh, once all that's been changed, then I think there'll be more Filipinos who wants to go back and establish their own business. I personally know a few people who they have plans, in the near future to go back and establish themselves there. For Filipinos naman who wants to, migrate, definitely Filipinos have good reputation, without a doubt. Filipinos is known for, hard worker, very patient, very kind, and most of all, we can speak English, which actually makes things much easier for them to assimilate in the country and to be able to adjust to the culture here. So I think Filipinos has a good potential when they come to a country like New Zealand to progress and to achieve whatever goal they have. And for our president naman of the Philippines, I I admire him, his courage, because these are tough decisions that he needs to make, and of course, it's long overdue. That's a problem because I think desperate situation is desperate measure, and so he has to make those tough decisions so that we can see progress. And although there's a lot of people who don't agree, you know, with this method, but personally, I think I can see a result, and I can see that Filipino people are behind them. I think that's the most important thing. Is majority of Filipinos are really behind them because they can see that he's doing what's right for the Filipino people, and because we can see a result as well. I think that's what's making them or wanting to believe in what he's doing. It's good for Filipinos. And so I hope that it will continue. I hope that that things will get better. As he progresses, as he implements all his plans for the Philippines.